bit of trouble. Doesn't have a point in the rebound, so just going to try and do as much damage as he can onto AU before they secure the kill. The KP's going to be loving life though. Look at this. Flame completely shoved in. Doesn't have another hero here to soak the experience.
Just getting the solo level big for Visage. I like how KP's built up. No points in Brave Kill, no need to chase. Just all in the damage a little bit on that short lane.
Alright, it looks like they saw... Oh yeah, Xavius is on his pulling shenanigans, so they were well aware of the Tiny being out of the lane.
And Xavius getting this one free either. Hide still on the chase, providing a lot of damage out. Xavius does have at least two armor protection. Tiny without that throw is pretty low on his physical resistance, so it'd be a lot easier to play for Hide. And overall, looking like a very even start for both sides. Q in trouble though.
Once again, he's going to try and get KP in range for the rebound, but another kill for Natsumi to find, so looks like he's off to a pretty good start. Last hits are kind of struggling for the Juggernaut. But at least he's able to kind of supplement that in regards to the kills. And meanwhile, mid lane though, it's looking pretty even. We got so much action in the side lanes that we haven't really been able to watch out, but this is just a farm fest, honestly, between Lelouch and Makoto. I say that, Lelouch might get a solo kill. Makoto playing with some one charges, so almost bring Ember down.
Yeah. Very good chase out, very usage of fortifications from Lelouch as well, just to protect that one creep he had working that lane. Doesn't quite find the kill, but is still kind of set up. Is out of bottle charges, so not going to have as much mana to trade and caught for the TP back refill.
Lane. Hide? They're going to try and beat onto Savage, but I don't know, man. This guy is... You're not killing with the stuns on cooldown. Savage is going to get... Okay, I thought he was going to wait for me, man. Savage, he knows the limits of this hero very well.
Yeah, he's just super comfy on it. We've seen him play a lot. Up top, catch AU out here.
Not another support dying. What is going on? Q and KP is going to go for a TP out, and they will not have the damage, actually. Nice read from AU.
Bailing out. Bit of a long down level 1 dispose. So it does buy some space out. That's giving a lot of space out for Natsumi to catch up in that season. He was lacking. Doing great now on the jug. A number 2 in terms of net worth here. And for Talon, 2 kills behind. Slight net worth lead for Polaris. Considering the pacing of these heroes, it does feel like a lot for Talon's going to be riding on Makoto and maybe KD hitting that familiar spike that you mentioned earlier on there. So won't see if that's something you can play with Lelouch. Already showing up in mid. Doesn't have level 6 Exo, and Xavius is hanging around as well. Maybe could look for an opening, shove in a little bit, start to pressure onto tier 1, but not gonna go all in that yet.
Yeah, do you feel like the call for Polaris is maybe to use this Exo mid, or are you going to consider bringing Lelouch down bottom to try and get the tower? Yeah. Rebound moving speed. KP's going to be able to get out. Man, this guy moves fast with the rebound. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty huge combination, right? Like a Grave Chill plus rebound. It speeds up the Visage in a massive way. Does allow you to run down and avoid that spin combination, even with the slows from your Wyvern. You're starting to find that opening though. Lelouch has the Exo pop, not really able to chip away the tier 1. Does force Makoto onto the sidelines, but he's still feeling fairly healthy, although the full complement of Bruce less than that.
They're going to go for Xavier, so look at Hide. Really cute play with the cookie, but Xavier's going to hold them back with the avalanche. This is a huge victory, though, nonetheless. That is a exorcism that, honestly, completely wasted. That is not enough damage. 160 onto the tower? You are not happy about that. Natsumi does get a kill, though, by the triangle, and Omni Slash to secure it. So the Jug's off to an incredible start, 3-1-1.
Yeah, it's been a great ride for Natsumi so far. Somehow Savage is still finding a lot more out from his lane. Not finding as many kills himself, but he's gotten a lot of down bot calls.
At least Xavier gets the haste to it. I was able to step in with the cookie, hold him back. Meanwhile, top lane with the familiars, AU in a bit of trouble. That extra damage, certainly a little bit with the 1 point in the sidekick. It will come at a cost in Q. So 1-for-1 to trade, expending the life of the supports.
Bit of a back and forth. Does feel pretty good still for Natsumi to find. Building up this jug, but the moment he dies, that's a pretty big streak to give away.
Oh, what? This is alright. I completely forgot about this. They've got the sidekick for the familiars. They got the cookie as well. Oh my lord, why not just have multiple things to be able to help out with the familiars across the map?
And they've got pretty good ways of getting some long-range stuns with some cheeky plays with familiars, so it's going to be down to keep trying micro. They're at the point though where Natsumi can kind of just clear out a few small camps, level 7 up, working towards his Maelstrom, so his farming pace should pick up, but I think considering how much aggression Polaris is getting out, look at his pump up bot. Talon's avoiding pretty well. Focus your resources up top. Natsumi should be a bit cautious there, but backs up in the time. Looks like a tier 1 for tier 1 trade. Just consider how much damage they're getting. Like this Morphling, number 1 net worth, again, had a little bit of back and forth in lane, but not under as much pressure. Not as many kills, but the farm is steady.
I'd say that's a win though in the books for Talon. Like they tried to rotate down to catch Savage off guard, but the Observer Ward by the hard camp was able to scout out Polaris. So the fact that Talon are able to get a tower, and honestly, they're a lineup that you don't have like the Exo to really secure an early objective. You are playing with the Visage, which does make it a lot easier, and if the Morphling can get the right clicks going as well. But that's really nice now to just further enable 23 Savage's game, just opening up the map for him to get some more net worth. Makoto might be able to get a kill. He's out of mana, slides up in a couple of seconds. We'll see if the damage is going to be enough. Makoto still considering to chase. He's got a mana. Makoto! What's going on? Xavius gives him a well-deserved tip for that.
Yeah, just gets a little bit too aggressive chasing behind and doesn't quite have enough damage. Doesn't have chains up as well to help control in that initial part. Fight does get fun. Another Exo is up. Can be able to line up for the mid. This should be a lot easier to push into with the rest of Polaris ganging up here.
See if they bring the numbers so to protect this tower on Talon. They do have a TP available on Q if he's going to look to join. Makoto's back alive as well. Even going to lay down the mortar. Well, alright, Xavius is just gone, so low health is going to be the Tiny. Lelouch is in a little bit of trouble as well, but he will have the Cold Embrace and the extra health coming back shortly.
Radiant's middle tower being denied.
Get the deny off. Just a little bit of a back and forth punching Xavius for staying a little bit too long. But they still get the objective. Polaris starting to open up the map more, to shut up the map more, to invade that bot jungle, start to build up even further on force, great use of his dominate, creeps, just dominate that push going, keep that push going. And this is the moment where Polaris starts to hit that early mid-game stride we were talking about there, Aries, right? The Beastmaster is going to be able to help you push out. Death Prophet's fairly tanky, you don't have any sort of early earn pickup here from Talon yet to handle that. And you're still kind of waiting for farm on the farm. Doesn't have his Maelstrom up yet, and start to lag behind from that one death down mid. All the while, Polaris are still building up a Natsumi. After he abandoned stop, he's also gotten a lot of space bot. Once his Maelstrom's up, the Jug can be quite the presence in taking these fights and just being more efficient in clearing out some camps and some creep waves here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think maybe for Polaris as well, it's going to kind of come down to, I think, the Exo cooldown and just the item from Force, because he's not having the great... Well, it's a bit better of a time than KP, I suppose, on the Visage. But really, it's that Helm of the Overlord they're looking to hit at a decent time to maybe think about taking this tier 2 tower. I don't think they can pressure it until they get that item. Mid lane, the Lelouch should be chilling. They're going to be able to kite the Spirit Siphon. They're really doing a good job to play the edge of the fight. They don't bring Lelouch down too low, but I think this is just good signs of how Talon are being able to recognize the ways to deal with the Death Prophet.
Yeah, they're just slowly poking prod. They're not actually giving Polaris an opening to force these team fights. You mentioned Polaris being better in that 5v5. They haven't been able to find those big moments. They will go for a smoke play now. There is a big target up top in the form of Savage here.
How do you start though? It feels like it has to be a silence from the higher ground where Savage doesn't expect it. Curse from AU, maybe to stop it. He gets the Archmage shift. No one's just starting to TP in the area. Waveform. Oh, yeah. So, yikes. That's no good. They're going to instantly smoke. They got to get something out of this. This is a lot of time expended.
Radiant's courier is
KP, smoke's gonna pop. They'll toss him to Lush. He does got the snapfire nearby. Hyde's gonna be able to step in to get the cookie over the tree line, but Polaris will make sure they get the kill before Hyde is able to provide any assistance, and they'll also get the little familiars as well. So at least Polaris gets something out of this.
Yeah, it's something for their trouble. Not the biggest kill, still a good point to pick up. And should allow them to a little bit more control. Playing tag with Natsumi just gets taken away. Sap.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Alright.
On the edge. But that was huge, just trying to I don't know, force an issue. He's 200 gold away from his blink. That could be the big spike in Talon play on here as well. Kododo? Oh, man. They miss?
Dude, this is wild. That slight timing was crazy. They did have a sentry as well, so they didn't know that Death Prophet was setting up. Maybe they just saw Force kind of running up aggressively at the Ember Spirit, so it's like, alright, something's amok.
Yeah, we've seen that multiple times. Trying to play with that silence timing on the slide of fist. Mikado's been basically able to dodge out every single one. Bit of a clump up top, trying to get more objective. Get Talon this time going for the smoke play.
Extra to play with, and there's the blink. Q's not going to be with them at the moment, and the TP is also on cooldown, but it looks like they're going to be able to deter Polaris from continuing the siege.
They kind of walked through the path of the hawk. They smoked up in the top part of the triangle, but with that clump up, Polaris probably knew something was up. Using that Beastmaster vision quite nicely, and they're wants to back off. Talon does feel a little bit early to kind of force out movement with Savage in that smoke. He is just going to go back to farming, build Manta, and Scotty. Try to get those timings. Morphling. For Polaris, they're getting pretty big. Natsumi's number one. With that Maelstrom, he's able to keep up and kind of clip Savage's farm, trade back to back. Going for the Yasha next. You're seeing a very early Lotus Orb next for Lelouch. No BKB necessary, just use Lotus to dispel. And could cause some issues in holding down and dealing with that regen on the Death Prophet. So it does feel like Polaris has the upper hand when it comes down to engagements. Neither side has been able to find those big engagements. And I think overall, as long as Talon don't bleed out the next 10 minutes, they still have scaling. Although Q?
Almost. Xavier's trying to get whatever little farm he can find across the map. Really struggling to complete that Blink Dagger. See, just Talon really sweeping across, making sure their cores are continuing to get the farm. KP. It's actually going to go a different build. I think majority of games I've seen it was the Wraith Pact. So he's actually not going to complete it this time. He's going for the Scepter next. So you feel like surely it's just for the Wyvern. They feel like this is a support that is a must kill to start the fight.
Yeah, it allows him to scout out the Wyvern really well. I like the damage output it provides as well. KP can go for the appropriate Talon build up. He's already got the +8 Visage and Familiar's attack damage, plus the Ag's attack buff when you get out of it, and down the line, then +1.5 armor on the Visage and Familiar's. It's a lot. So it makes Savage's job easier, it makes Mikado's job easier as well if you find a flank. And as you mentioned, just spotting the Wyvern from the rear is going to be massive. Still Mikado.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I don't know if it's a deliberate thing. I'm going to make it out like it is from Mikoto. He kind of dragged the creeps to the right side because he was worried about if anyone was going to pressure the Tiny, had to come from the left tree line and get that stun. He kind of saw him prior that he wasn't in the right trees, so kind of pathed his way through that side, and maybe that was enough to get some distance away from Xavius. I'm going to say it like it was. Of course, Mikoto, he's a big brain player.
He is. I'm surprised that Polaris are making these moves without force. Like, I get that they're waiting for that full the Overlord does feel like they need the roar from distance to at least lock in, chain stun afterwards, get that burst on from Mikoto. Without that Beastmaster, probably not finding that Ember.
John, look at how defensive the wards are. Like Radiant and Die pretty much all their wards are just on the river. They've got 5 wards out of on the map so far. They are making sure that Talon cannot invade, but it's pretty similar with Radiant. They're like, you take a look, it's just everyone's really mimicking what's going on in this game. People feel very content with finding their farm. I mean, this puts us in quite a position for the mid game. That we're just building up this steam, building up all the pressure, and then it's gonna burst shortly.
Yeah, you're gonna see that pressure just less at some point once either side feels comfy enough. I think the defensiveness for Polaris, it's not too bad because they've got the Hawks flying about as well that can give them much more offensive use. It's just that they haven't been able to build off that offense. They've been rotating without force. It just feels like you really need that roar to catch out either the Morphling or the Ember. Force has to be around. Dominator's almost done. Maybe that's the moment where they start to group up a lot more with the Master, get a kill, go for an objective afterwards with their insane push, and just kind of slow down the map. Because right now, despite the strong from Polaris, 2K lead's not the biggest in the world. Smoked out from Talon, was spotted out a little bit on the edge of the Hawk. That should allow Polaris to back off. Natsumi still hang around the tree line here.
Gonna do it. Play through TBR maybe? I guess that is kind of the one nice thing here for the Juggernaut this game is that they do not have an answer to a spin TP out, and well, now Polaris, they're going to go for their own smoke. Is this just a Roche to force a fight, or do they feel like they need a pick-off? Nice scan. Beautiful scan. They're able to read this, that they're looking to invade, but they've got to make their way over to the pit because Roche just falling pretty fast.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a great fight for Talon to take. You mentioned it earlier, but they lack the team fight from Talon's end. Could try to get kisses, but there's no real setup for it. Talon's lineup does feel like it's geared more for maybe some counter engagement pickoffs here. So 3 Aegis coming out from Polaris, read from them. Talon blow that smoke down bot. Just holding that game steady. They did have to blow the Exorcism. They're not as reliant on it. At least not with the Helm the Overlord fully up in the forest. They've got a little bit more presence with their creep army here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I like that point though, just because Talon, I think giving up Roche is a very difficult thing. Maybe first Roche is easier though because you don't have that extra ag shard as well, which could be, I mean, it's plus 1400 gold and it can be an incredible ability to help out. You're actually going to look to take the fight. Extra being on cooldown for Polaris, they're putting a lot of their attention to Xavier's fall at the moment. One of Makissa's not going to do the trick, so Xavier's is able to reposition. Talon, they do kind of force them away from the tower though, so they will be able to secure a pretty big objective, but AU is able to fly over the cliff, finds the win. This curse, the cookie will not be enough to reposition. Xavier's, he's trying to get the +1, if he can close the distance onto Hyde, but will not be able to make it fast enough. So in the end, Polaris, they lose their tier 1 tower mid, but they do get at least some way to rectify that with the kill onto KP.
And they're finding a lot every single time they find this Visage. KP is losing all your pluses here, so bounty plus 200 gold every single time. Massive wins coming out for Polaris, holding steady to lead 2K up. Savage just meant to dodge away right before Xavier comes in to check. He does have at least the 2 ultimate orbs up, so he's got a lot more HP to play with, a lot more agility to work into strength here. And still have a little throughput, but for Talon, this is the moment where it feels like they're gonna have to take a step back. They've not been able to find fights. Your Visage isn't quite online, the Axe build up, and even then, it does feel like you're gonna need a lot more on top of that. You need some talent spikes here as well for KP. And Polaris just has so many more angles to take. You see the curse coming out from AU, it's been effective multiple times. We haven't even seen the roar yet from Forest, just not necessary. They just find that pick off, and Talon's forced to go back farm it.
And what do you think the call is going to be for Talon here? Do they mount a defense bottom, or do you look to maybe shove out top and potentially trade the tower, at least get a lot of damage and control the top side of the map?
I think you look to trade. You do not want to deal with the Aegis on Natsumi. Juggernaut just way too durable. Again, nothing to deal with the spin at this moment. The Omni Slash is still a constant threat as well. And Talon just has no play as of the moment. Maybe once they have KB and Makoto, you feel a lot more confident, and at least having the Ember take a much more forward position, try to disrupt these fights a lot more. But before that, and Polaris just has all the tools. They have so many ways of catching one hero out, forcing a bad position out of Talon. They've got the shove in, they've got the push potential, exorcisms back up. Could just line up for mid and take another tier 2.
Just forcing the issue here is Polaris, recognizing Talon They're not in a position where they're going to be able to contest these fights. They've still got a minute 40 to work with on the Aegis. What's the call going to be? High ground, that is a really difficult objective to be able to take. And yeah, it looks like they're just going to back off, maybe try and get a kill up top. As soon as they see the TP's out, though, Talon instantly reacting and calling the retreat.
Back off in the nick of time, and that does prevent any further leeways for Polaris. High ground threat is still not fully realized. Again, they have the EXO. Talon will go for a smoke, but so will Polaris here.
They're going to see at least around about where the Death Prophet is. Beautiful read from either side. How can they enter the fight? Lelouch is a big kill if they can find it. Lotus Orb with the burst. Pretty heavy at the moment. Half health to play with. They're going to make sure they don't group up. AU's in with the Winter's Curse, but Lelouch is still in trouble for the moment. Able to reposition into the river. They kept the Death Prophet alive, and now they're going to turn their objective over to Savage. But the Morphling able to waveform down to the south. Savage going to consider about jumping back into the middle. He's got the Winter Wyvern replica to play with, so right-clicking from afar secures the kill to the support. But look at Polaris swarming into Talon territory. They want to hit back. They want another kill. But Xavius will not be able to catch up. KP flies back over to the high ground, so Talon will escape, and that's a win in its own right. I mean, you force out some ultimates. They don't get a successful team fight towards the later stages of the Ages, and yeah, Talon, they don't really lose too much there, so I'd say that's a bit of a victory.
They're seeing just how durable Savage is. Cops most of that Omni Slash. It cops the Roar, still manages to get the attribute shift right in the nick of time, and with that, he's just safe. You don't quite have the damage output yet from Polaris to deal with him. But you also don't have the damage on Talon to deal with Lelouch. You drag him down to less than half. Beyond that, you've got healing from AU, you've got so much sustain come through on Death Prophet by virtue of Hero. You don't really have many angles to take. The BKB from Mikado is big, that does allow us to dance around it. It does feel like we're going to need that Ember Ag series for anything else can happen, at least for Talon. For Polaris, you kind of need to wait for those cooldowns to be back off. The Aegis is already gone to Natsumi, so as mentioned, it's a little bit riskier to look for the high ground objectives. Tier 2s are still fairly open. You can start stripping that map away, but the respawn is there from Talon at least.
Just wonder how different that fight could have looked if you had the level 2 and the Mortimer Kisses. At the moment, Hyde is 11 and kind of 2/3. Maybe with that extra little bit of damage from the ultimate, would have been enough to get the kill on the Death Prophet, because I think without that and without the Scepter on Makoto, like you mentioned, that just burst potential to get rid of Lelouch is not really going to be there. And if you don't get the Winter Wyvern as well, then good luck killing like a core component on Polaris, because AU's got Blink now, so it's going to be even easier for him to position to get the save or even to get a big curse. And there you go. Speaking about the curse, look at KP. Oh, not the familiar's back onto himself.
Yeah, right through. 200 gold. Familiars, Savius, every single time they find that Visage kill, it's pretty big. It starts to add up. Polaris finding the right target at the right time. Sure, it's not the Morphling, but it does still get a lot more for your trouble there than you normally would. And Talon, that timing for KP into the Ag, it's going to be stalled out. It's 500 gold away. Could be the spike necessary to deal with that Winter Wyvern as we talked about. That Talon not going to be able to get as much done as all the tools are still there for Polaris. And they're down to Curse, they still have Roar, which we again haven't seen too much of from Force, besides one time on Savage. Still kind of clumping around, but someone's going to need to respond down mid, and Mikado will get that team. Could be, he manages to kill off the Hawk.
Okay. Savage trying to set up a Lelouch, but he's got pretty good positioning so far. Will not be able to keep up, although Savage's waveform's still on cooldown. Xavier's not playing with the blink. Gonna be reliant on the 4 stuff. Does he go for a stray avalanche? Not gonna be able to catch up. Okay. So meanwhile, Makoto does go down. I was keeping tabs on top just See if they were going to get the kill. That was what, the Raw plus Jug?
He killed off the Hawk while it was diving, which was pretty neat. But yeah, the Roar came out. Didn't expect a Beastmaster round. Just gets run down. Great punishment onto Mikado, stalling out his own Axe time as well. And Talon, you have all the farm in the world on Savage, but a Morphling just can't make these big plays in the situation. You have to rely on the Ember. You have to have some impact on the Visage. Not quite there yet. They might find AU at least.
Get a support out of it. They're at least able to get a trade across the map though on Polaris. Tier 2 tower. All the outer towers have now been claimed. Talon look to try and smoke up. They do have a pretty good ward at the top outpost if Polaris continue to retreat in this direction. They're actually going to smoke themselves maybe to help with their mobility. Oh, smoke on smoke. Wyvern's down, so they don't have him to be able to protect the death ball, but they're into the combo! And Lelouch is gone! Still, they're going to be cautious. Savage, he gets chain controlled as well! Savage, along with Lelouch, not a factor in the team fights from either side, but it looks like Natsumi, he can clean up. Chasing down KP, they'll get rid of the Visage, and Xavius is going to try and catch up to more Talon. 3 heroes playing around with a higher gun. In goes Xavius to break the formation, tossing high back into Natsumi's grasping hands. Get him go. He's posturing like, come on, Makoto, get out of the way. This is my territory now.
Polaris just they drop one, but they managed to find bigger kill. Savage this time around not able to get that attribute shift in the time. Nanarin is punished for it. And we are starting to see that mid-game talk about. Jug's fully online, has Can
he stay alive for long enough? The rest of the team's starting to connect, but it's a question of the control now. It might be enough. Oh my! Natsumi really starting to get the damage going. 8-1 and 4. And all they need is a couple of stuns, forced with the chain control, with the dive bomb, and that was plenty to kill off Makoto.
And that opens up the high ground. Morphling respawning to you, they wouldn't want to buy back Mikado here. Push coming out from the Jug to sustain from that healing ward. Just more than enough to get the job done. And there's no answer here from Talon. Just down the fact their supports aren't big team fighters. Got great pick off. They've got that blink that dispose on Q, but it's not enough to hold multiple heroes down. And whenever Polaris just pop up on them, it's just way more chain stuns coming out from the dire side here.
Cole is going to be to go back up the high ground. They've got some barracks. They're not going to be durable for long. KP's trying to scout out with the familiars to see the positioning from the supports. Polaris, they'll get the melee barracks and now looking to back off, maybe control the triangle or consider Roshan.
They got a big opening just with the melee racks down. Talon, game gets harder and harder for them as they still lack the itemization. Ags on KP's nice, but you still need Mikado's Ags to really feel comfy. He's still 2,000 gold away from that. Just been stalled out that KP, and just been picked off a couple times too many. Polaris still holding on triangle area. Smokes out from Talon here.
Gonna have to be a long wraparound into Dire's jungle, get the ward on the cliff, maybe look to play like that, because they have full control of the triangle on Polaris, so there's no way Talon can break this. And they also scout out Roche's up as well, so they do have confirmation. Nice read. They know exactly where they are. Look at the lines drawn on the map.
Get a general idea that knows they're shoving waves. So Talon snuck out somewhere and not going to be able to find anything for their own trouble. Just going to go back and go. And they find a free range Rax as well, so the mid's fully gone thanks to the micro coming in from Force. And Talon, it feels like their backs are against wall here. They just need more items. They need more time. They need Mikado to actually just hit the Ags and dance around and try to dodge out all these stuns as he has before, but it's just not coming through. And the impact of KP's just been minimal. Sure, he's got the Ags, he's scouting, and we haven't seen him burst down the backline as much. He might be able to spot this Roche though.
What's the call? Roche is falling fast. Gonna need a way to be able to start the fight. Xavius tries to blink in, scouting some of the heroes out. They're very split for the moment. Look at the curse. Not a lot of damage, but it's really just space. That's the main thing. Savage trying to play around with the Winter Wyvern replicate. Meanwhile, KP's going down and Talon, they're just looking to retreat. They cannot stick around to take this fight. They'll lose KP. Q's going to be killed off as well. So Polaris, with this second roast, they're in the driver's seat to be able to close out this game now.
Got a big opening to just look for that opening onto mid, maybe go for a secondary set of racks before cutting for this tier 4. Natsumi's had a great time from the laning phase, built up, he has the basher on the jug, so the spin is going to be big now, and keeping something like Savage Dime, getting the chain stuns off in these fights. And again, for Talon, we just haven't seen this Visage do too much from KP this game around, even with the Yags. Scouting's there, but it's just in a primary curse target. If not, even with the information, Talon doesn't have the best jump. They can try for a disposed play that's going to kill off Q 100%. And just without Mikado's Zags, you don't have any way of just dancing around here. It's almost unplayable. 8 to 19, 12k lead. Polaris looking like they've got a really good opening to actually force this game one away from Talon. Talon sort of crumbling. They go back to that comfort opening with Marcy and Visage, and it doesn't feel like we're getting impact from those two heroes at all just yet.
And I don't think we are going to get the impact out of the Visage as well. I think you're at this stage of the game where his net... Man, Tiny's almost got more net worth than the Visage. This is a position for Tiny that... Davies has had a very good game. Props to him, but it's just... Tiny can struggle to kind of really find that farm unless you're getting pickoff after pickoff. So, I don't know. I don't feel like we're going to get that impact from the Visage. You're mentioning Mikoto has to go huge. I think Savage as well. Like, this is the Savage Morphling, keep in mind. So, it can pull something out of the hat, but it's going to be crazy here for Talon. That's a 2% probability here. 34 minutes in, so it's not looking good with this second Roche.
Yeah. And Yags is up for Mikado. We'll have to see if he can play to his full potential. Polaris definitely not going to make that easy there. BKB piercing spells are starting to show its muscle here. And all Talon can do at the moment is just kind of split push with KP. It's at least shoving in top. That will leave the bottom as the angle here for Polaris, but they don't even have a creep wave there either. Through only the mid, kind of give them that access through the back door. Still enough time to get a lot of damage off of Natsumi though.
Wrap around. That's the call. Can't take the fight head on. Not into Natsumi. Into Wyvern to the Death Prophet. You've got to get rid of them. You've lost the ward now. And look at this. The read. They know exactly where Talon are playing. They're going to lose another ward. So how do you take the fights without information? Sapphire's in trouble. Meanwhile, Natsumi off to the left side. A first hit bash. Morphling will be okay, but cannot say the same about Hyde. And that's the gem dropped as well. Davies. Oh, the toss on the bird. What? The Kodo? Can they chain control him after? Oh, what's going on? Natsumi, these bashes is getting so goddamn lucky. It'll force out a BKB, a buyback as well. Savage is going to try and charge him, but the Raw. Now with the Omni Slash, the damage might be enough. Savage is gone. No buyback on the Morphling. The cheese to drop the Polaris. Oh. Alrighty, what a game one performance. Now we're going to take this 36 minutes in. What a beautiful game from Dyer.
Yeah, they played spectacularly well in Polaris. And again, this team has looked revitalized since taking Force back in, having a